Hello?
She just started whispering, it's time, and I was like, okay, are we live? And she's like, no. I'm like, what? Hello, everybody. Hello, Skittle, Gabriel Reed. Cool. Charlie,
Choral?
Inia.
You said that so confidently.
It's so much confidence. Essie-chan. Gabrix. Amy Owen. Hello, hello. And Gem, my goob. My goob, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, my children, to this fabulous, friendly, fun time. Oh, man. Are you impressed with me with all those YouTube videos we've been putting up?
Right? Bones did all the editing for those.
Editing.
He clipped all of them.
I clipped.
Can we get a round of applause for Bones McKay?
You're a minute late. Why are you even here then? Only true fans will get this.
Swap seats with Matica so you can judge your jeans.
Yeah, Charlie knows all about dog jeans now.
Oh, you're learning about dog jeans. Okay.
Yeah. They're
Do
gonna
they wear the jeans on their hind legs or all four legs?
Oh my god. Oh my god, the cat grass is just dying.
Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah, what happens? They can't make a good root system.
Yeah, because they have big long roots. Right?
Yeah.
Don't survive well in little tiny pots.
What is Twitter? Oh wait, I already read that.
It's the
Say something interesting, guys. Come on. There's a fine tweet. What if egg was short for Megan?
Megan.
You made it on time. Hello, Silent Songs.
Hello.
Dogs are individuals, Ursula. Fill those jeans how they please.
Aw, that's good. That's a
How are
good
you
answer.
guys today? I'm alright. I'm mentally ill, but I'm good.
Listen, aren't we all?
Everyone in this chat right now has some sort of illness. What? Okay, Ursula's crazy today.
I'm a little bit.
she's like
feral.
She's feral. Like it's a very subtle thing that I notice as her husband's spouse. But she's like feral. She's like a little like she's like peppy but also can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like
She can see through space.
I'm seeing into the multiverse right now.
Exactly. She's like, "Hello, how you doing?" And she bops in front of you, and you're like, "I'm like, I'm good," and they're like, she just keeps bopping.
I did like crab walk over to him into a hug.
Yeah, she did. She was off her meds for like a week or so, and then she's back on them.
I'm
So I
back on
think
them.
that's what it is.
I'm back on my BS.
Back on your BS, yeah.
Bones got brain rot from exposure to me. Oh no.
Being French is an illness? Sheesh. I mean, it is. Doctor Strange is quaking.
Because I'm looking into the multiverse.
Oh, I get it.
I'm coming for him.
You're gonna
His
stream
stupid little goatee.
You're gonna stream comic concept art tomorrow. Very excited.
Very cool.
This-
Ursula's on the same level as the cat with a flower on its head. I am.
Basically, Isabel from Animal Crossing. Isabel just crab walks over to you.
Gives you a hug.
Yeah, she's intense.
I'm sorry. I woke
I
up at
don't-
like 6 a.m.
Why?
I needed to get work done.
Oh my god, she was like, I'm setting up a million mini deadlines today because Tuesday sounds like it's a long way away. And I can actually get it done in 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, that's cool, hon.
My eyes are like completely
So
black.
Ursula
Yes.
Gray
Me.
was called
Gary.
into the office
Say
at
what?
her work, and she was terrified,
I
like,
was.
I'm gonna get fired.
That's the thing. Anytime my manager is like, "Hey, you got a minute to talk?" I'm like, "This is it. I'm getting fired."
But you know what happened? She got a reverse firing talk. They were like, "Hey, are you gonna leave us? Cause like we need you, and you're acting kind of like a little slightly off, like the other people who left the office with new jobs. So like, are you here?" And she was like, "Oh my god, I thought I was gonna be fired." But she didn't say that. But her mind
No.
quaked with it.
I was shook. When you wake up and choose workaholic, I did. I chugged the workahol today. But basically just because I've been off my meds. And I didn't want to say that either. I
Yeah,
didn't want to be like, I'm off my meds.
yeah, I'm off because I'm off my man.
But I was just like, no, I'm fine. I just need to...
You could just say you're sick, or like,
I could have.
You're-
I basically told him, I was like, I'm just kind of blue from like, we're in lockdown right now.
yeah,
I was like, I'm kind of tired of lockdowns.
you
but
lied.
I lied.
Like okay, Ursula, I
sound
get,
like a liar. What?
I get keeping things private, but
Yes.
Ursula Gray keeps so much private
I'm too private.
that is like ridiculous. Where it's just like, just be honest. You don't have to hide it.
No.
She's like, I'm not an asexual. I have all sorts of sex with my husband, just like you guys. Right?
I would never say that. I would never talk about sex with coworkers. That's weird.
She's just covering up for the fact that like coworkers be like, oh yeah,
I mean, they do try to talk about weird stuff.
yeah,
Is this what the aloes are like? They just talk about sex?
yeah. They talk about weird stuff, and you're like, I get that. As someone who is allosexual like you, I understand. I
my
too sleep in a bed with my husband every night.
Exactly. Ah, yes.
With my cis husband.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
I am totally a straight woman.
Mental health issues? Who is she?
Never heard of them.
Oh my goodness. Is there something you want to tell us? Husbands? They're my husbands? Oh, well, oops. I'm multiple husbands.
There are times, though.
What times?
Well, I find... Okay, so generally, most of the time, anyone who's found out I'm ace is usually cool with it. But there's some times where you meet someone and you have to gauge if they're like ace-phobic before you talk about it.
Yeah, if they're gonna be weird.
If they're gonna be weird about it.
If they're gonna be like, oh, I could change you.
And you're like,
You're
no.
like- Ah. Have you got that checked? Have you considered it's a hormone thing? Good old neurotypical Ursula. Yeah.
Listen.
Mental wellness. Who art thou?
Never heard of her. You said husbands the first time.
Oh, I
Listen,
did?
can't a girl have a couple husbands?
Yeah, we don't judge.
My husband Bones and my husband Satan.
Oh right.
Or Krampus or whoever. I have 3 husbands.
I keep finding magpie goo on my face. My freaking charcoal. Wait, what? What's magpie goo? Explain.
What is magpie goo?
Goob.
Do you mean Monster Dad?
Magpie's just Shadow.
My friend said I don't actually like my boyfriend because I'm ace. What?
Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Terrible.
Your old work was like that, where they would talk about boys.
Oh yeah, I worked at a cafe where it was all ladies. There's lots of girl talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was fun. One of my favorite memories from working at that place was like we were near a fire station. Firefighter station, whatever that's called.
I don't know why I made fun of your us. I'm sorry.
Gosh. Don't make fun of me. I can see through space. And dang it. Lost my train of thought. Oh, right.
Favorite memory. There was a
The
firefighter.
firefighters. So sometimes the firefighters would show up and get coffees, and my manager at the time, she was in love with one of the firefighters. She was like, he even has a hot name, and I was like, what's his hot name? And she was like, Roman. I was like, oh, that's pretty hot.
Hot. Gotta put out that fire.
And we'd always joke that like like, oh, someone go like pretend to fall in the elevator and they'll have to go pick you up and carry you.
Roman is a hot name. It really is.
It is a hot name. Yeah. There was also one time where there was this lovely older woman who worked there. She was such like a mom friend, but like sassy. But like she like adopted all of the younger folk who worked there, myself included. Anyways, so one time she was showing one of us, it wasn't me, it was one of the cooks. She was showing her pictures of her dog on her phone. And she accidentally swiped one too far and showed a nude picture of her husband to the cook. It was very traumatizing.
I liked when your dad showed up
Oh,
and they were like, "You look just like Ursula," and he was like, "Oh, poor girl." You've got a lot of fun stories from there, but
I
also,
do.
oh, tell some bad customer service stories or
Oh.
customer stories. People love those. Oh, sorry.
We had.
I have a fidget spinner.
Oh,
Oh, I scared
I was
them all.
wondering what that noise was.
Oh, sorry.
Um,
I retrieved it so I wouldn't interrupt your story so much.
oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know what I'm drawing. I'm drawing Amanda in the wrong angle right now.
All right, you were gonna tell me about bad customers.
There was one girl who I kind of loved her by the end, but she was really annoying at first. But I grew very fond of her, where she would come in and oh, sorry, music did not put it on loop. There we go. Okay. Where she'd come in, and she came in regularly. She was a regular, and she'd ask us every time about every single item on the menu. She's like, so what's in this drink? And, I tell her, well, what about this one and this one? And she'd go through the whole thing. It wasn't even like new seasonal drinks she'd like ask about. It was always the same ones. And then she'd be like, could I like have one to try? We're like, no, you have to buy it. I'm sorry. And there were, I think,
Wasn't it like she bought the same thing
you're
every
right.
time?
You did every time. She'd go through the whole thing, and then she'd get like a London Fog or something. I remember once she tried something else on the menu. We gave her like a mocha or something, and she came back and she was like, "I don't like it." We're like,
Well,
sorry.
you got it.
you bought it.
What about Soy Lady?
Oh, there was one lady who would come in, and she'd always try to. It was a silly policy, honestly.
Yeah.
But basically anything that wasn't any of the non-dairy milks people had to pay for, except for like specifically like non-dairy milk or lactose-free milk, I mean. But like if you wanted soy or almond milk, you had to pay extra. And so this one lady would come and she'd get coffee and ask for room for milk. and then she'd go down the counter and ask like a different employee for soy milk so that she wouldn't have to pay for it, I guess.
Oh my god.
And so like, I don't know. I usually wouldn't care. I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, because like half the time no one used any soy milk and it would go bad and we have to throw it out anyways.
Yeah.
But I remember they were like, watch out for her. She always gets the soy milk without paying. The whole thing.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, guys, it's one person.
It was better than your first job.
Oh god, I worked the hotel.
Yeah.
The hotel was
Oh,
awful.
wait, before we go to the hotel, talk about your other cafe job.
Oh right. So for a while I got hired as
For a while.
for a week.
Yes.
So I worked at the one cafe that I loved. And then but they wouldn't hire me full time, so I went to get like a second job. And so I got hired at this other cafe in town, and they had me on as like a baker. So I'd come in the morning and do baking. And I was there for a week because on my first day, when they were showing me how to make like the muffins and stuff and mixing the
Batter.
batter. So it was winter. So I had like, and you know, because I worked at another cafe where I'm washing my hands all the time, I had kind of like dry and cracked skin, and so on my hands. And so he was showing me to mix, and I said like, he's like, you just mix it with your hands. And I was like, okay, can I have some gloves? And he was like, no, you won't be able to feel that the batter's correct if you're wearing gloves. It's like, I have cuts on my hands. And he's like, it's fine. I was like, ugh. I think I went and got gloves once he left. But yeah.
There's that. And what else happened on your first day?
So I think it was my second
Oh,
day.
your second day.
On my second day, so it was in the downtown area, which has a lot of drug users about. And one guy came in, and he started. He came in and asked for like a glass of water.
Yeah.
And then the manager comes out and he's like, you can't be here. And this customer, he starts screaming racial slurs at our manager.
Yes.
And like yelling and screaming and running all over the store.
Yeah.
And so the manager tries to like make him leave, because he's clearly unhinged.
Yeah. He's going through some
Through some things.
having a bit of a moment.
Yes. Also, the other people in the like working there was me and two other girls who were around my age, who were like early 20s, and then our manager was like an older guy. And so the manager goes around the counter and he tries to like push the guy out towards the front door to like make him leave, and then the guy punches my manager in the face. So the manager, he leaves because he just got punched, and some customers luckily got up. Some guys got up and like helped kind of push this guy out the door. And there was like, what do you call it? Like a vestibule thing, like a, where it's like the two glass doors and there's like that little entryway. It's not very big. Anyways, so there was one of those and it had glass windows on the inside. And the dude who attacked my manager, he gets put in there by the other customers and he like breaks the glass. I can't remember if he punched it or if he hit it with his face, but because by that time we were hiding in the back and calling the police.
Yeah.
And so he breaks the glass and then he goes running. apparently the police showed up really quickly, and they got him, and they went to check on my manager and make sure he was okay, and like ask about pressing charges and stuff. And I went to the back to check on the manager, and he had a bruise on his face, but it didn't seem like too bad damage.
This guy was
but
determined, right?
it's determined.
And that
But
was
yeah,
like your second day.
It was my second day, and I was like, I quit.
I can't.
I can't do it.
I remember you talking to me and being like, I need this job. And I'm like, this doesn't seem worth it. Like, jobs are hard at the beginning, but this is a bit ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, they also like it was really another thing that wanted to make me leave, not as bad as the assault that happened. But one thing that was really frustrating was like the manager kept asking me to come in even when like there wouldn't be enough time for me to like do a shift there and then get to my first job.
Yeah.
So like I'd come in at like 4 a.m, and then because I think like I had to wait like a couple weeks to get my shift change at the other place because they'd set up the schedule like 2 weeks in advance. But the guy was like, no, we need a baker, so you have to come in. So I'd go there and work for 2 hours and then go to my first job at like 7 or 8 or something, bussing across the city basically. And then he'd ask me like, can you come back because you have to work 4 hours or something, and it was stupid. It was stupid.
So you tried to get full-time at your other place, and they gave it to someone who'd been there less time.
Yes.
And you were like, I'm done. And I was like, just get a real job. Not that like coffee shop isn't a real job, but you know, like get something with your like your skills as an artist, and that worked out a lot better.
It did.
Because you have to put up with like, this isn't like no knock to like the employees by any means, but you have to put up with so much for so little.
One of my coworkers at the nice coffee shop, she said that because she worked a couple jobs, and she was saying that the jobs that paid her the least were the ones she worked the hardest at.
Yeah.
Whereas like, because she worked she had like a self business type thing where she'd like clean houses. And she said, like, she got treated so well. She made so much money.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, she worked at a hotel and then the cafe, and she was like, you get paid nothing for breaking your back all day.
Oh, toxic work environment? Well, tell them all about the hotel.
The hotel. Oh my god, my managers there made me cry almost every day.
Yeah, that was
so
like her
mean.
first job. So her first job was at a hotel.
Yes.
It was like a private like chain.
Yeah.
Not a chain. It was like a private hotel.
Mm-hmm.
It went under too.
It did.
But
it went under shortly after I left.
Tell them all about it.
Oh god, where do I begin?
It's so much.
There's so much. I remember
always telling you to just go become a waitress because at least you get tips.
That's true.
Because you get paid. What was it? Like as a hotel staff, you get paid a wage that's for people who get tips, but you don't get good tips.
Yeah.
Because they pay a gratuity for the whole meal.
Yeah, because back then the minimum wage was like $10.25, I think.
Yeah.
And because I was a server serving alcohol, I think my pay was like $8 or something.
Yeah.
An hour, and then they expected that the rest would be filled out by tips. But because we worked at like a banquet hall, the gratuities, meaning the tips, would be paid as like part of the whole event, and then get distributed evenly amongst the servers, which didn't mean that it always equaled out to $10.25 an hour.
You weren't getting paid like someone who waitresses for people with alcohol, right? Like,
Yeah.
like you can make some good tips depending on the area.
Totally.
But yeah, you'd make nothing. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I made nothing for like, oh my god, the shifts were so long. I remember one time, So our shifts, so because like it was event based, your shift could be like a whole bunch of different hours.
Wait, you guys get $8 to get tips?
I know the minimum wage is, even with the like serving alcohol thing, is still better than a lot of places in the States.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get $8 an hour plus tips. You're allowed to pay less if it's like a tipped waiter, employee kind of thing.
Yeah, because their wage gets covered by tips.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the shifts were kind of all over the place. So like if there was a 2-hour event, you'd be called in for 2 hours. If it was like a 12-hour event, you'd be there for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And I think there was like a maximum you could work before you got overtime in a week. So they'd always schedule you just under the overtime, but sometimes you'd have 2 like 12-hour shifts in a row. Like,
Oh my god.
it was horrible. And I remember one time I was so pissed because I'd been there since 7 a.m. because basically I came in for like one event in the morning and then I had an event in the evening.
I
And-
dropped my suspicious phone. I'm good. Okay.
So I've been there since 7 a.m. and it was evening time and we were doing like an evening event, and it was me and 2 guys who had been there the whole time, and then they had like everyone else come in for the dinner. And so we were like, oh yes, we're finally gonna get to go on our break because people have come to like relieve us. They even brought in like a bunch of temp workers, so we can finally take a break because we'd been on our feet for 12 hours and finally go eat. And then all the new workers come in that are just starting their shift, and my manager turns to them and she goes like, okay, all of you guys go have your break. Ursula, get out on the floor. I was like, I hate this.
Oh my god.
I was dying. Oh my god. I was so hungry. And I remember one of the guys, we'll call him Joel. That wasn't his name, but we'll call him Joel. We were cleaning up the dessert after. We still hadn't gone on break. We were cleaning up the dessert, and there was like a cake that had like a couple bites taken out of it that we were like taking to the back to where you like clear the plates and then put them into bins where the dishwashers can take them. And he was looking at the cake and he looked at me and he was like, please don't judge me. I'm gonna eat this right now.
Oh,
I was like, it's okay, Joel.
poor Joel.
We ate the cake.
Ursula story times. Yeah, she's talking about bad jobs.
Bad jobs.
I remember that it was like all the white people were servers.
Oh yeah, that was pretty shit. Basically, it was one of those places where like, I remember once I wore a headband in my hair that was like yellow or something, and our color scheme was like gold and black for everything.
Yeah.
And so like, basically we were told like you're not allowed to put anything in your hair, or like, we were told you can paint your nails, but it can't be anything like gaudy. And we were like, what does that mean? They're like, if it's like a subtle color, you can wear it, but like,
Flesh.
you're like, what? I thought you're not supposed to wear nail polish because it can come off and like get in people's food. But anyways, so I had a yellow headband in my hair to keep my hair out of my face, and I got chewed out for it because it wasn't gold, it was yellow.
Oh my god.
But it was very like, all of us white people would be the servers, but then people of color would be like, worked in the laundry and housekeeping and
Yeah.
behind the scenes work. And I was like, oh, that's great.
I remember you preferred it when you went down there.
Yes, because there were a couple times where they had me work in the laundry just because like someone was away and they needed extra help, and I volunteered to go, and like it was so chill. Everyone there's so nice. We just folded laundry all day.
It was great.
It was great.
No one yelled at you.
No one yelled at me.
Oh god. Weren't they the ones that hired people outside of the company?
Oh yeah,
Like supervisors or
that
something?
was really frustrating because I'd been working there for like a year, and we had these 2 like head servers who were really good. They were really nice. We had there were 2 managers who were mean, and there were 2 servers who were really nice. And one of them left because she got a better job somewhere else. Good for her. And so she left, and so they were like, well, we need someone to fill this head server role. So instead of taking any of the people who had been working with me for a year, who were really good, who knew how the place worked, who was friends with everybody, instead they went and hired someone else who had never worked in that hotel before, who had worked as a server before. Don't get me wrong, but we had to train her, and all this stuff, and she wasn't even very nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind training someone up who's nice and treats people well.
Yeah.
Treats people with respect. But she was mean. She'd ask us to do things that where I'm like, that's not how we do that. But then she'd be like, well, I asked you to do it, and it's okay, well, great. I'm gonna be the one who gets yelled at for doing this thing.
Oh yeah.
That's wrong.
Oh my god, it was awful.
It was the worst.
And you were just so miserable all the time.
Yeah, I remember
I was just quit. It's not worth it.
I know, I should have quit forever.
I was like, your dad will support you. You're fine. And you're like, no, I need money. And I'm like, for what?
It's because I wanted to move out.
Yeah, I know. But it wasn't worth keeping that job.
It was not. I should have got a better job. Because as soon as I left, I found that nice cafe job that I liked.
Yeah.
But I remember at that hotel, I basically because we'd mostly be working Friday and Saturday nights. I remember every weekend going home and just crying on the bus ride home. It was so terrible.
Right? Oh my god.
Oh.
It was awful to be a witness to it. I can't imagine being part of it.
Oh, yeah.
You leave and you find happiness again, usually.
Yes.
Oh my god, right?
Ever...
At my local country club, it's a double-edged sword. They give us scholarship to brown people, but they make all the brown students do the work.
Oh dear.
Oh, scholarships to brown students, and then the brown members do the work. Oh my goodness.
Your boss is threatening.
So yeah, those were jobs.
Those were jobs
I've only worked 2 jobs.
Powerful.
I didn't get paid well. I did a lot and didn't get paid well, but I never really had to deal with customers, which was good.
Bless.
I don't think I could handle customer service at all.
No.
My mom always wanted me to get a job, and I'm like, no. It's like driving. It's like, one day. When I feel like it. Scary. Scary, and I can't see, and I don't pay attention. It's like... Just feels like a bad combo. I remember Charlie being threatening too. What?
Yeah, Charlie will threaten you
Oh, right.
with bans if you, I don't know. Don't join the Discord. I don't know.
If your job's because of wages.
Actually, usually I'm the one threatening Charlie. They're always saying I'm throwing them down the stairs and stuff.
Oh. Well, it's just what you do.
Yeah.
What else do you do with your Chorley? Do you ever get annoyed that you have Discord notifications and it's the little red thing and you're like, I don't care about any of these notifications. Do you ever feel that? Because I feel that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh, shut up.
I don't like
Leave me alone.
notifications.
Yeah. I'm getting into letter writing. That's what I do now. I communicate through letters.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
So wholesome.
Right? Because then I get to write paragraphs and paragraphs, and it's not weird. And also, people can't be like, why are you ignoring me? You know, like the mail takes the time.
True. I should start communicating it with everyone via snail mail.
Exactly. Start sending letters to your father.
Oh, that'd be adorable.
Yeah.
I should mail my grandparents.
You
and my
still
dad.
haven't called your dad.
I know.
How long have we been living in this house?
2 months.
Yeah. Funny that, eh?
Listen,
It's funny.
he could call me.
Yeah, that's
To be
true.
fair.
True.
We're just a family of people who don't call each other.
You know what happened? My dad never called me, and then he died.
Stop!
So
Don't curse me. No! Everyone, call your loved ones.
don't live in regret. Oh, there it is. I was wondering. I'm wearing a lot of wristbands.
Oh. Good.
I don't know.
You look like you're going to a rave with all your wristbands.
Stop making fun of me.
Oh
This is
my
why I
God.
don't do anything fun. Because everyone makes fun of me.
It's a sign of love. I feel that way too. I hate it when people tease me, even though it's like that's how people show love.
That's
to each
not
other.
a good way to show love to people.
That's how people show love.
No, it's not. It's I don't appreciate it. I don't like it when people say mean things and be like, it's because I love you. You're just being mean.
A bone.
No, it's just mean.
Okay.
You feel that way
You look
because
cute.
our family does that.
You know,
Our family
no.
doesn't want to communicate through I love yous. They always have to make a joke about it.
I know.
Not everyone's like this.
This is why I can't be vulnerable in front of people.
Also,
What?
it's hard to tell if someone's joking or being mean and hiding it through a joke sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
And like, we're sensitive, me and you.
I know, we're sensitive little babies.
Listen, we were bullied as children. Stop. We can't bully each other to show affection. What,
I guess we
what
should
is
rise
this, me,
above
me
that.
and Charlie? Yeah,
Charlie,
Rise
stop
up.
bullying my husband.
you have wristbands, you fresh bones. I have like, they're glitter wristbands. They're liquid glitter wristbands that came in a package I got.
They're so cute.
They're bopping.
He's adorable, guys.
I'm 100% adorable and 100% self-conscious. Just like my wife. I'm always joking. I know I make fun of people on Discord a lot. I don't mean to be mean. Like, I make sure to be nice sometimes and check in. Because, man, you know what? You know what's a thing
What?
that's such a lad thing to do?
What are the
is-
lads up to?
Is to undercut vulnerability with jokes so that you can hide behind it like a shield. You be like, I love you, just joking. That kind of energy. You know?
Yeah.
You're like, I just, this is how I show affection. Buh, buh, buh." And you're like, dude,
Dude.
just tell your bro you love him. Okay? Just love
Look
your
him
bro.
in the eye.
Look him in the eye and say I love you and don't no homo it.
Yeah.
Because who cares if it's a
Let-
little gay? It's okay to love your bro.
Guys need to have lovely,
It's not bullying if it's the
Inner
truth.
worlds.
Your husband is a transphobe. What? I'm only transphobic against you.
Whoops, no.
Freaking transgender June over here.
Don't do this. Oh no.
What was I saying about like not making jokes?
Right? You're
No,
not
it's fine to
supposed
make jokes.
You're
It's
not
just
supposed to be mean.
yeah.
I feel like being nice and then playing it off as a joke is more mean than teasing.
Oh yeah. I don't like teasing, okay? That's my answer. It's like I just don't like being teased. Cuz I find people like tease as a way to like tell you that you're doing something socially unacceptable but make it fun. I don't know. People be like you're so quirky and I'm like I know what that means. It means I'm just above socially unacceptable.
Mhm.
You know what? Okay, what I was
What?
thinking about. Okay,
Tell me.
I'm in therapy.
Tell me your
Um,
thoughts.
and I was
Wait, can you tell them what you wrote to your therapist?
okay. I will as a treat later. Okay, but so I was thinking when I was in high school, I had a friend, and they had like trichotillomania, so they had their head shaved because they would like pull out all their hair, and so they would wear like anime wigs. And like when I first met them, they were wearing like a Miku Hatsune wig, and I didn't know what Miku Hatsune was, and they were such a memer and never explained it to me. So I had to eventually figure this out. I had to like piece it all together like a riddle. Um and it was cool. But like by the time we were grade 12s, like they would wear like more classier wigs, but they'd also do like Lolita stuff, and they'd still do some anime wigs. But we made fun of this grade 9 person because they dressed up as Miku Hatsune all the time. And we would be like, well, you know, it's one thing to like wear like an anime t-shirt or like be into it, but to like dress up as it every day, that's weird, you know? Like I don't even know, like, what was the point? Why were we like smack talking this poor child? because I okay, I've been a bully, but I wasn't like that much of a bully to this person, because at that point I was just like, why do I care about this? Like I had gotten to that point where it's just like, and I'm thinking about it, and it's like, I feel like you kind of make fun of someone and point to them, and you're like, I'm kind of like that, but I'm not that far, so I'm okay. And like it's like the Mario thing where you smack Yoshi and jump, you know? And I feel like that's stuff that people do to like stay socially acceptable. Like you don't want to be the least socially acceptable person in a room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Cuz like there's degrees of weirdness allowed in different situations.
Yes.
Or Miku Hatsune, ninth year old, right? When you were young. To be fair, when you are an ass without knowing how much you hurt people when you're young, yeah, no, yes and no. Like I don't want to like, because I know kids are like learning things, and that's cool. And it's probably more on parents than anything, but like some of the cruel stuff you get up to like doesn't feel very excusable.
Mhm.
Like I was bullied pretty bad in like middle school, and like that kind of stuff like affects you like forever. You know? And I just feel bad for Miku, okay?
Yeah.
And like, and I wish that instead of making Miku feel bad, I made my friends feel bad. In the way where you're like, why are you making fun of them? Like ostracize them for being a bully.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like that's a good tactic when you're friends with a bully.
Yes.
You have to get people on your side to be like, who cares? It's hard though. Like I don't want to say it's
because peer
yeah.
pressure and all this stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
It can
because
be
it's
hard.
really easy to be like, who cares what they think?
Yep.
No kids said cruel things to me. Luckily, I stood up to them more or less, or let it slip, but it still hurt. Gives you massive insecurities. Oh yeah. Yeah. Write an apology letter to Miku herself. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I don't know. I've done some like, because like when you're bullied, like you become kind of a bully because it's like it's what you do, right? Like it because I guess it's very crabs in a bucket where like you're trying to not be bullied, so you try to make someone else the victim. You're just like, they're terrible.
Yeah,
Make fun of them instead.
totally.
Oh my god, it's like that poster where it's like act don't act like someone who could be bullied, you know? Like don't act bullyable. The bully will get tired and pick someone else. And you're like, that's not a solution. And there's some weird things. Like, I genuinely didn't know you weren't supposed to punch people that much. Okay? Like, Ursula had to teach me this.
That one's weird.
I just, you know what it is like, I would roughhouse, and then I got angry because I was being bullied constantly, and like, so I'd punch my friends, and they would just like be fine with it or like not say anything about it. So I just got used to like punching my friends, and then I was punching you, and you were like, "Don't," and I was like, "Why?" You're like, "I don't want to be friends with you if you do that," and I was like, "Oh, okay, like I'll stop then." I don't know. Being bullied by teachers is awful. A teacher actually... Oh my god. Whoa.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Sorry that happened.
I used to be friends with someone who really hurt other people and started rumors about my friends. I was too scared to stand up to her, and I let her bully my friends, and I really regret doing that. Yeah, I regret that kind of stuff. So there was like... When I was in middle school, there was these like a pair of like disabled guys who would wait at the bus stop in the morning, and unfortunately for these two perfectly fine gentlemen, they had their bus stop situated right next to the middle schooler bus stop, so they would be like harassed constantly. And like the one guy, he was kind of funny. Like, he was really upset about bicycles. Like, if he saw a bicycle, he would yell at the person on the bicycle and be like, "Get off the sidewalk." And if they were on the road, they'd be like, "Get off the road. It's dangerous." You're like, "Where do you want the bike people to go?" And because they were standing on the grass, like, they'd be like, "Oh, it was too close to me." But bike guy was harmless. He would just sit and rant about bikes. And the other guy was really quiet, and he was nice. Like, he was just nice. And I would walk by them every morning, and like, I'd smile and wave at nice guy, and bike guy would go ranting about bikes and just ignore you. But yeah, like, the kids at the stop would just like harass them all the time and like make fun of them. And like, I never joined in, but like, after a while, like, I stopped like smiling and waving at the guy because I didn't want to be like associated with the people that were being harassed. Like, I was getting like harassed by the same people when I'd go to school. Like, I didn't need more fuel to the fire. Like, I didn't want them to being like, "Oh, you're friends with bike guy." So eventually I even stopped like walking by them entirely, and I would walk the whole way around and cross, so I didn't have to walk near them and make it awkward. And like, it was incredibly awkward, and nice guy looked so sad when I stopped like walking by and saying hello in the morning, and I felt like a bad person. Michael. Yeah, and that's one thing like I regret, but like, I understand like why I was like that, because I was being bullied pretty bad, and god, it was silly the things I would get bullied for, because I would get bullied because the teacher met me outside of school once on accident, and I was at the lumber yard, and then everyone was like, "Oh, he lives at the lumber yard," and I'm like, what is this? What is this?
Kids bully you for everything.
Oh my god, they bully for the weirdest things, and they make fun of my name. Ugh. And it's like such little like silly things. Whenever there's those Reddit stories that are like, oh, you can't name your child something weird because everyone will make fun of it.
Yeah.
And kids just find like all sorts of fun ways to make fun of you. Like
Just
they don't
anything.
need an excuse.
They make fun of you if you're short. They make fun of you if you're tall. They make fun of you if you have brown hair, if you have blonde hair.
Yes.
Like, it
You're
doesn't
too
matter.
tall, you're too short. Like they find something.
Mhm.
Poor bike guy, quiet guy, and child bones.
Right.
Yeah.
Being bullied.
Well, this is hard when you don't have a bunch of people on your side.
Yeah.
But if you are like, I feel like the people that can do like the most help for bullying aren't really like the bystanders who are like afraid of things. And it's not really the bullies. Like, I mean, the bullies can ultimately help if things change. But like, I feel like if you're confident and you have a bunch of friends and someone's being picked on, like you got a lot of power for that. Because like, whenever I'd be in situations where people were like once I was in high school and everyone knew me, and if someone made fun of me, everyone would be like, whoa, why?
I remember
Like, it'd
that
just
was
be like-
so. I had a wonderful moment when I was in grade 9 where I was lined up outside the drama room and this one dude turned to me and he was like, "You look like a friggin' lesbian." And everyone in the crowd turned to him and was like, "What's wrong with being a lesbian?" It was amazing.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Like, amass friends if you can.
Exactly.
And protect the weird people, because it means a lot too. Because like when
Yeah.
I was first going into high school, the main reason I went to an art school wasn't because I wanted to do art. I just wanted to be as far away as possible from like the people who were bullying me. So I showed up and I was like emotionally dead and scared of all people. And in a high school where I knew nobody at all whatsoever because it was in a whole other city. And like on my first day, like people were like inviting me to like go sit with them because I was sitting in a corner looking depressed. They were like,
Or-
"Do you want to like sit with me?" Like, and they were all D&D kids.
People were pretty nice at that school.
They were
Overall.
I
There,
would
there
say
were a
so.
couple crappy people, but for the most part, like I remember one thing I really remember was like there was one day in high school where like because I dated a girl and then we broke up and then she was friends with all of my friends, so there were a couple times where like I had to leave and cry because I was still upset about the breakup or whatever. I remember I was sitting in the hallway crying, and these two like seniors who like I'd never talked to, like I'd seen them but I never talked to, they came up and they comforted me and they were like, do you want to hang out with us? Like, do you need us to go talk
So
to
why
someone?
did we bully Miku?
Why did we bully Miku? But yeah, I do remember though one time there was like a friend we had who like I think was a grade 9 and we were seniors, and
Oh god.
she was seriously being like bullied or abused by like her boyfriend.
Oh god, he was awful.
He was a creep. But I remember like he went into the bathroom to avoid her and she was crying.
We're like, don't go
We were
with
like-
this guy.
We were like, come to lunch with us. So we like took her to sit at our table and like we were like, you're better than this guy. He's a creep. Like,
Yeah. It's like all he wants to do is get high. I'm like, well, don't. Like,
no.
you don't need this.
You can go find someone who wants to just have a nice relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, but he's sick or something, and like, you know, like I don't want to abandon him. And I'm like, he's also a dick. Like,
He's a jerk.
you don't owe him anything. Yeah. I remember when some people stopped hanging out with me when they found out I wasn't actually white. Oh my god.
Oh my god. It's horrible.
What if I was dude and white? Would you care? I guess he was used to have all... Wait, what?
I feel like we've missed something
I
here.
feel like I missed something too. Most of my classmates were insane in high school. Like, this dude saw me drawing and he came up to me and said, you know, you would draw better if you took drugs. I was like, no, I'm good. Yeah, it's hard because like it all depends on like the culture you're in. I'm just
Totally.
like, stop the bullying, 2021. Let's go.
Stop the bullying.
Bullying's like a huge problem, and it's like,
It's
so
traumatizing.
it's so easy to like underplay it, but it's super traumatizing. And because if you're like, I'm a survivor of bullying, people are like, wow, chill out, dude. But like, literally, there's so many people who like, like might not have made it through it,
Yeah.
like mentally, and well, some people don't make it through, and that's horrible.
I remember it sounds so like when I say it in my head, because I got bullied really badly when I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Like with neighborhood kids that were like friends with my family, like their families were friends, who I'd always have to spend time with. And like, it sounds silly when I say it out loud because I got bullied by them because I liked Pokemon.
Yeah.
And like they'd make fun of me. So now these days I have trouble like telling people when I'm into something because I'm afraid I don't know they're gonna attack me or whatever.
Well, it's
But like, because it sounds so minuscule. It's like they made fun of you because you like Pokemon, you big nerd. Like, but it's like it sticks with me. I'm afraid to like tell people about my interests.
I was learning like a little bit about CPTSD.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like I don't know things, okay? I will disclaim as usual
Okay.
that I don't know things. But they were talking about how things are infinitely more traumatic when you're like a child, because things like being like socially rejected are life and death events for you.
Mhm.
Because like if you don't fit in with your social group, like the implications for your little monkey brain is like, what will protect me, you know? Like, and it's definitely even worse if it's like your parents doing it to you and
Oh, yeah.
rejecting you, and you're just like you can't quantify that as a kid. And as a kid, it is like little tiny things, like your friends being like the only kids you're hanging out with are like, you're wrong for liking this thing, and ostracizing you. You're like, I'm not part of the social group. Like, that has like huge implications for you, your little monkey brain.
True that.
Yeah, because I know like, yeah, because kids have a way of like also believing everything is caused by them in some way too.
Yes, true. Kids will blame themselves. for
So like
things.
when you're a little beeb and people are like, you like Pokemon, that's weird, we don't want to play with you. You're like, damn, if I show anyone I like this, I'll never have friends ever. And like, and as a child, you can't even comprehend like the social implications of that,
True.
right? It like presses on you. You're like, oh damn.
And
Did you
it's-
know that
what?
like what is it? Like what's the neurodiverse children, as I think it's as young as like babies start masking symptoms.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And start doing that. Yeah. I also don't know if this fact is true, but I've seen it a bunch. I think I was looking at like the effects of like masking and like that stuff. I need to tell them stories. I'll look at things.
Okay.
See if this.
You're a little bee, but nice. I always felt like the all run out mood. That's why being bullied by teachers and parents is so bad. Totally, because it's like these people control your life. Like teachers have such a huge role in your life. They have so much power over you. Feeling of being alone in a crowd is crushing sometimes. Totally. I wasn't ever really bullied, but nobody used to talk to me in primary school because I talked to myself and had imaginary friends. Oh, sorry no one talked to you. That sucks. That's like bullying.
That
It's
is
not like antagonism, but it's like
well, like that's
exclusion
something.
is still something.
I think that's another part of like CPTSD is like neglect, like emotional neglect and things like that. Also, like create that like that sense of like, am I gonna die? Like,
Yeah.
because like if your parents like emotionally like they're physically there, but like they're emotionally not, like having your emotional needs not met is like a huge problem. Whether that's and from your parents, like that's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's so harmful.
F in the chat. For
I
bones.
didn't talk to people. Chorl. So I'm ace and some things have always been weird, like other teams teams teens would inquire in my personal life asking stuff. Started to pretend to care about how hot someone was. Mood. I've totally done that in situations where people are talking about aloe things and I'm like, uh-huh. Sure. Oh yeah, I've totally done that. Are you talking about bullying? I was bullied until I was 15 when I became the class clown. Oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. Bullying is terrible. Only in quarantine I realized I was ace. I just thought everyone was like me or pretending. That's amazing. There's
That's
so
such
much
a mood.
stuff like that where you're like, wait, other people don't think like this? Aw, stay safe, Ania. That's tough. Ah, yes, gotta pick one person to say they're hot so people think I'm one of them. Exactly. Who's your go-to hot person?
Tell stories. Tell me something interesting or so.
Something interesting. God, I don't know. Nothing happens anymore. I remember once, like, I'm just thinking about asexuality and stuff. Where for the longest time, I didn't think I was ace. But looking back, I'm like, wow, I am so ace. But yeah, I didn't really realize I was ace until I was dating Bones, who came out as ace before me, and then was talking about it, and I was like...
It was easier because I was sex repulsed, like, all the way down.
Yeah, true. But yeah, but we were looking at, I think it was one day we were reading like the definitions of different like asexuality words and what they mean, and I saw gray ace and demisexual, and I was like, is that me?
Oops.
I see myself here.
A spec. Something
Yeah.
interesting, thank you.
Frog swallow with eyeball? Excuse me? Coral? I guess that is an interesting thing.
That's Chorl's favorite fact of the day, it feels like.
They swallow with eyeball?
They tuck
What
their
does that
little eyeballs
mean?
in.
Oh, I see.
I was showing you frog mouths
Oh, right.
when they
Did I
yawn.
stutter?
Sexuality is so confusing, right? So is
Doopy.
gender.
Yes.
I'm still trying to find the answer. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. I can't wait for you to tell them what you did in your email.
Oh right, yeah. I'll get to you.
But I can't tell your interesting story.
Thank you.
Also, if you show affection for someone, it always must be romantic. Yes. Well, that's like high school. It's like you're friends with anyone, and everyone's like, "Are you dating?" No, we're friends. Ursula, you don't gotta answer, but did you ever question your gender? I've like, I've never had a moment where like I've never had a moment where I thought I was trans, if that makes sense. But I remember like there were times where like lots of my friends were coming out as trans, and I was like, eh, the closest I've ever got was like thinking like, am I non-binary? But like, I look into like other people's experiences with it, and I'm like, nah, I'm very cis. Yeah. Like, yeah, I've thought about it, but it never felt like it applied to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because all your friends were trans, and you're like, "Am I?" And you're like,
Am I?
"No." It's
No.
yeah, exactly.
I actually had a dream where I had to get a mastectomy, and I was very upset.
Oh right. You're upset because it was just one boob.
Yeah, it was one boob, and I was like, hello. Now I'm all lopsided.
You'd fall over.
Fall over.
I'm trying to find out if this is true.
Oh, okay. I see. I guess I did in high school. There were a couple times where I did like cosplay as male characters.
Yeah.
Though
You
for
did.
me personally, and I don't think this applies to everyone, for me personally, I think part of it was just like not being comfortable with my body, where a lot of the female characters I liked were scantily clad, and I didn't want to wear clothes like that, so I tend to want to dress as like male characters who wear more clothes and kind of cover up my body, but I don't know.
Okay.
I identified as non-binary for 2 years and only just recently realized I think I'm just cis. That's fair. Play around with your gender expression.
That's
Your
perfectly valid.
identity is valid.
Oh my god.
Then when
I don't know how to tell this like story, but okay, I email my therapist a lot because that's how I communicate.
yeah,
Like that's how I do. It's how I live. And usually they're just very serious, beautiful emails. But I started my email today with, "Hey therapist, feels weird to be sending an email when the sun is still up," because I also send these emails at like 4 in the morning. Like I'll I'll just be like on a tear and be like, "Okay, here's all my feelings. It's 4 a.m." And then I send at those hours too, because like I don't know. That's just when you get emotional. It's at 4 a.m., right? Also, I'm delirious enough to like not be afraid to send things. Like the very first email I sent was at 8 p.m. That's like the earliest I've sent one. And I was in the hospital and I just lost like blood because like they'd taken my blood and I was woozy. And I was like, I can send this email, and I hit send on it. So yeah. So usually I'm like super tired. Okay. So anyway, back to the thing. So, "Hey therapist, feels weird to be sending an email when the sun is still up. 3 p.m. Who is she? 3 a.m. is my girl. Failing to resist the urge to say all threes are good because there are cat mouths." And then I did the cat face.
the little
And then I go, "So 180 time," and start talking about my depression. So that got sent. That didn't stay in the drafts. I hit send on that one. And Ursula was dying, and I was
Oh my
dying, and
God.
Charles was dying, and I'm sure my therapist will think it's just funny guy. Um, are there more emergency services you can call in these cases? Better to have more support if you can.
Bones is iconic. Your therapist told you to stop texting her out of session because she's too busy?
I mean, like, I understand. Like, some therapists, like, can't do that. Like, it depends on the individual therapist, but it is still sad,
Yeah.
and it sounds like you need more support. It can be hard to find the right therapist for you.
Yeah. I had a moment.
Yes, I had several.
I had a little moment in therapy the other day where I was like,
The other day?
a couple weeks ago when I
Okay.
had my last session.
Okay, a couple weeks ago. I was like, you went to therapy recently? Oh, it's therapy talk. Let's go.
Where I was like, I had a moment where like my therapist was like suggesting things, like saying like, would this work for you? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then I realized like, I'm just saying this to be a people pleaser. Where I'm like, I don't actually plan to do this thing that we're talking about right now.
Yes.
I should just say I'm probably not going to do that.
Oh my god. That's such a mood. My therapist told me to stop doing things that like are like upsetting me if they're upsetting me. I'm like, what? if the calming technique is making you feel worse, tell me and we'll not do it. I'm like, oh. But what if I try really hard and somehow on the other end of it I'm calm? My therapist told me not to text her out of session because she isn't allowed to talk to me out of session, but I don't know if that's actually true. It can be true. Some therapists won't do it because it can be like sketchy as far as like privacy concerns can be. Because things like email and text aren't like super secure all the time.
Mm.
And some therapists who are in like a big who are like in like a network or whatever, like that's just the rule. Like not all therapists are allowed to do it. I do it because I don't think we'd get anywhere. Also, like he suggested that I do it. He was like, "Ooh, you like writing? Do an email," and then I did, and it was good. Because I get like so jammed up with like speak that I get like stuttery and sometimes I get like so like word blocked. That's the word, I guess. Like word blocked that I can't even like say anything and I can't articulate anything and then I disassociate and we get nowhere. So like yeah,
Oh,
emails
no.
is important for me.
Yeah.
I want to write a romance between two women, but my mom deaf gonna read it. Any advice? Give your mom a copy where they're like boys. Or one's a boy. I don't know. It depends. I don't know your mom. Be careful if you don't feel safe though. Which is such a crap thing I have to say.
I know.
That's another thing, I think. I was thinking about like weirdness or whatever. And I was thinking of like how much I hide things, and I realize a lot of that has to do with like queer identity, where it's like even if you're a gay person or like a queer person or something in that genre of person, like even if you are like that and nothing has happened to you, like nothing bad, like I feel like you can still go through life like feeling like this unease. Like if I step out of line I could get murdered, like, and it's a bit unfounded, but it's also like there's just like this energy, like especially like trans right now, where it's just like you look at the news and you're like, oh my god, the world wants me dead. Like Like, and it's not everybody, but it's enough people and enough stories that it kind of like wears down on you. And then you start like repressing elements of yourself because you don't want to show it all the time and you need to be safe and like repress. Oh, Medica's was barking in her sleep.
Oh,
She was like
baby.
tail wagging in her sleep. She just woke up all confused.
Aw.
At this point, homophobes in my life, I just gotta deal with it. Like, that's the problem, is like you're kind of between two hard places. Because you can hide who you are and not get abuse. But when you do that, that's like physically and mentally like so draining and destructive. Like, it's conversion therapy type stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
just different versions of it, of just like repressing yourself. And it's never good. Or you can be out loud and proud, and that comes with all sorts of fun dangers, you
Totally.
know? And I don't hide the sexuality side of my gender stuff is what's dangerous. Well, like, part of it is like in high school, for me, I had friends who like their parents like snapped and like they kicked them out of their house at like 16 or whatever, and like for like being like a lesbian. I'm like, wow, I didn't know people could be that cruel. And then I had other friends who were like, one friend of mine, like, they showed up to school one day and they were just like broken. Like, I don't even know how to like explain it. Like they were just so broken because like their parents had found out about them dating another person in like a queer kind of relationship, and they'd like gone through like all of their stuff, and they were like banned from doing everything, and they weren't allowed to be like anyone's friend anymore or have people over, and they were like on super grounded lockdown or whatever. It was like messed. And like I don't even know if things got physical too, but like it was enough like where I was just like, because like I didn't even get the whole story, but it was like enough to be like, damn. And like my parents were fine, like, but I would be sus. Like I wouldn't want to come out because like, what if the worst happens?
Oh,
And like when
totally.
you've seen the worst happen to some of your friends, like why will you want to come out? Like, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's so sad, right? Yeah. And then I'd have friends who like you would like feel in danger kind of being around their families, like hanging out with them, and they'd be like, don't be gay around my parents, like they hate that. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like I have to hide everything. I have to like put it all away, be as straight as possible,
Oh yeah.
so that A, like I don't get in trouble, and B, like you don't get in trouble, because I've seen what parents do to like my friends when this stuff happens. And then like as an adult, like with a YouTube channel, like I hear you guys' stories like all the time, like of similar things happening to all y'all, and it's just horrible, and it gets to me. And even though like I haven't had huge rejections, like I've had rejections, but they're like they're not even on the scale of some of the things, but like them alone were probably bad to happen to a person. But like it's just hard.
Yeah.
And then they see like things like trans healthcare and things being like banned for people in different countries and whatever, and it makes me so sad, honestly. Like, and
There's
it just makes me like scared to like exist in the world sometimes. Anyway,
there's this kind of thing that happens because like representation in media and like normalizing gay people and trans people is like
Mhm.
good because it normalizes it, but there's also this like idea that because lots of people view like being gay more than being trans right now,
Mhm.
but like being gay is normal, so they're like homophobia is gone. It's
Oh
like,
God, yeah.
no, it's still there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just being more transphobic because it's more acceptable to
Yes.
be transphobic right now than homophobic.
And hopefully that changes.
Anyone else feel a weird thing of guilty for not having been hate crimed? Like you should suffer like everyone else? No, I agree. Like
Oh yeah.
because I think part of that feeling is like sometimes okay, this is also just like a trauma thing that happens. Like everyone who's had trauma, like the whole okay, when you have trauma, the trauma hides itself because that's what trauma does. Like that's what your body does to protect you when you have trauma. It's like, don't worry, it wasn't that bad. And you're like, okay, it wasn't that bad. Why am I worried about it? It's because it's trauma, and trauma is protecting you by being like, like your body's like, no, it was fine, it was good, it was normal. You're like, okay. So yeah, like one of like the key symptoms of having trauma is like doubting that you have trauma. Anyways, yeah, like I guess it's like survivor's guilt, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. It's similar to that. And it's also like if you're like if you haven't had something horrible happen to you, for one, like there's like this sense of like, well, what if it does? And then there's like another sense of just like the things that you have gone through feel less meaningful because there's other people, you know. It's like it's like other people are suffering, so I can't, my small suffering doesn't matter, but it does. And I feel like just by being like a trans person living in a transphobic world, it's probably traumatic.
Yeah.
Like, and that's even ignoring things like dysphoria, which is like super traumatic for people.
Cause like,
And then there's like, then you're more likely to have something like happen to you. Yeah. Anyways.
one of my coworkers was talking about resilience in the
Mhm.
workplace. And part of it was like he was talking about how like a lot of sorry, I'm wondering how much context I have to give to make this understandable. We were talking basically about like because I work with like HR stuff. So we were talking about how like people who get pulled into like leadership positions, a thing people are looking for is like resiliency and being able to like make it through like difficult times and times of change.
Mhm.
And that's like a good quality in a leader, which I'd agree with. But he was talking about how like one of the kind of like hidden biases that kind of happens is that like minorities tend to have to be more resilient than say like, you know, white straight counterparts.
Yeah.
Because of like dealing with like microaggressions and like
Yeah.
just little ways that like society beats you down, where and then, you know, you can come across as like being less stress tolerant during this like crazy time of change and spooky stuff because you're also dealing with like
Because you already
sexism
have
and-
stress.
yeah,
Right,
and
yeah.
homophobia and you know, people keep making little jokes about like, I don't know, dead names and
Well, it also is a really
Trans
difficult time
people
for
and
like
stuff.
POC, like this whole thing.
oh totally
Like-
exactly yeah.
Like, there's been a lot, and there always is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Like,
get you.
Totally. Or yeah.
Well, you're sitting in freaking therapy. I meant like you're sitting on Twitter. Like, no, you're sitting in a pandemic. Life is horrible, and then some billionaire writes an essay about you
Yes.
and concern trolls all over you, or tells you you're a predator and responsible for her victimization. And you're like, really? Right now?
Really?
This is the big issue? Oh my god.
Yep.
It's yeah, that's like, oh, that stuff's so annoying. But yeah, you shouldn't feel guilty if you haven't been hate crimed,
No.
because there's nothing to feel guilty about. But you shouldn't be proud that you're not. Like, don't be guilty or proud. It's just something that didn't happen to you, and it's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad you haven't been. I don't want that.
Totally.
I don't want that for you. It's not fun. It's like, and like, yeah, things like microaggressions, like they get on you.
They wear you down. And seeing bad things happen to like people in your community can also wear you down extremely. Like, just because you're not experiencing like homophobia or transphobia, but you're seeing, you know, the
Yeah.
billionaire write the essay and attacking other people, like,
It's not even just that. It gets even farther than
Oh,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
And then like, or you're in the workplace and people have their opinions on the trans like debate, and you're like, right now the debate.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Everyone has that Joe Rogan fan at their work.
Yes.
It's-
100%.
Oh my god. And I have such a bad problem with like looking at it too. I don't know. You know what? I probably have. You know what?
What?
You know how you were talking about like how women tend to like true crime because they like to like, I don't know, because
It's looking at your fear from a safe distance.
yeah, I feel like I maybe do that with like transphobia and stuff.
I can see that. Yeah, you're right.
Because like I'm obsessed with looking at transphobic things. like
Totally.
I love looking at transphobia all the time. Like I'm just fascinated by it.
I can see that, yeah. Where it's like, here's a bad thing that could happen to me.
Yeah, here's
Let's
a
look
bad
at
thing.
it.
Like let's look at it. Yeah.
Where it can't hurt me.
Understand the enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I like listening to like people defending like trans people because it's so defensible. Like trans people are right. I like cis people who are like trans people are cool and valid. You're like, oh, thank you. Like, okay, there's allies, capital A, allies who like attach themselves to the end of LGBT, and they're like, ah, yes, I am ally. Like, they're annoying, cringe, like, no, thank you. But like, allies are really cool.
Hell yeah.
Like-
We love our allies. If
Like-
you are not an LGBT,
Also, ally is a really good umbrella for people who can't otherwise come out.
yes, that's why gay straight alliances are so important.
There was like a debate about ally flags,
Oh yeah.
and whether or not they should be there, and there was like the trans ally flag, and like some people are like, well, everyone should just fly trans flags in support, and I can actually understand why a trans ally flag would be good, because oh my god, everyone thinks you're trans. Ursula.
Yeah.
You.
Me.
Because if you had a little trans ally pin, everyone could be like, ah, okay, she's an ally of trans people, but not trans herself.
Yes.
Cool. And then they know it, and then you don't get... This is purely selfish on my part, where it's just like... or just like, oh my god, okay, like... I feel like having a trans ally pin is like, I'm like really close to a trans person, like specifically, like I'm not trans, but I know a lot, and I'm definitely not a dick. Like I am like so much of not a dick that like I need to show you and prove.
Yes.
Because there's some
That's
people
so
who like
awesome.
fly a gay flag, and they're like, yeah, gay people, and you're like, okay, squints. And you're like, what about this? And you're like, oh, I'm kind of uncomfortable with that. And you're like, okay. It's like, I like gay people, but not those gay people. Isn't it?
Yes. I know
And with-
exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Uh, I know. I totally want like wasn't there like a movement? That's what it was like with bathroom bill stuff where people had pins saying like I'll go to the bathroom with you to like protect you.
One topic is our king. What's one topic? Who? Whomst. Anyways, it's one of those days where we're going off about like
We are.
gay feelings. we
Listen,
do
we
like
have gay
we always
feelings.
have those freaking things. It's just because I was thinking about it because I had to do the stupid therapy email, and I was like, why am I so uncomfortable with showing showing like anything to anyone? And I'm like, I wasn't traumatized. I probably was, but like, but like, I can't think of like a specific time where it was just like you doing this weird thing, and I'm like, never do that again. Like, I can't think of like the specifics, but I feel like it's just like a unending like, yeah, like microaggression-y, like just subtle things that suggest like this isn't normal. Stop doing that, and you're like, oh. Yeah, and you just keep doing that more and more until you're no longer act like yourself and you're afraid of everything.
Yes.
What is normal and what's not, I don't know.
Oh no.
Are they mad at me? I can't tell. I also have this thing where like people would be suddenly mad at me and I don't understand why. So like I feel like that causes stress for me. I'm just like, oh no. Do they hate me? I can't tell, and I genuinely can't tell. Cause yeah, that's happened to a lot to me. Like I had a bunch of friends who just suddenly stopped being my friends, and they wouldn't tell me why.
Huh.
You know this friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they would avoid me in the hallways, and I emailed them and I was like, what did I do? And they're like, I just never want to talk to you again. And then I had like another friend who like one day was just like, sent me an email. It was like, goodbye. And I'm like, what does that mean? Are you dead? And like I had to like call a bunch of people because I was genuinely worried. And it was like, no, they're just quitting Facebook. And I'm like, like, what did I do? Why don't you, what? Yeah. I hate confrontation. Yeah, I hate who likes, okay, poll, who likes confrontation?
Who among us?
Who even wants that for themselves?
Well, I mean, okay, I actually know people who love to like pick fights
Oh,
with
that's true.
like customer service type things.
Okay. You know what? You're right. There
There are people who thrive on conflict.
are. What kind of move is that first one? Wait, what?
Pardon?
He's a YouTube channel called One Topic at a Time. He's a nice person and he reads gay memes. Oh, okay.
Oh. Hell yes. We love some gay memes.
I want to just become I just want to become a like a variety lifestyle YouTuber. Oh, I've seen this guy. He's like gay Marky or gay MK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more like MK kind of stuff.
I am sweepy like broom owl.
Though it does feel like weird to say gay MK because one of them is like a trans lesbian.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, but like reading gay memes
Yeah.
specifically. Yeah.
I see.
I'm sweepy like a broom.
Broom, broom.
I like to think I'm tough and could handle myself. I need to confront someone, but whenever I need to, I chicken out.
I love your
You know who
bravado.
likes confrontation? Madoka.
Oh my god.
Madoka loves to confront people. Like,
Unless they have a skateboard, then they're gonna murder her.
oh yeah, skateboards are scary. Or canes. I have to like
Yes.
I am such an okay, my dog is an ableist and she's Islamophobic and
Yeah.
she embarrasses me because she's afraid of people in niqab, like when they're wearing the niqab, because she doesn't like the flappy thing and she doesn't know what it is. She's like, oh, that's a monster. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, that's a Muslim woman. Stop yelling at her, please. Okay. Or she hates people with canes. Okay. Like, I'm like, please, Madoka, stop being an ableist. And she's like, no, they're going to smack me with that. Like, no, they're not. Okay. It's fine. She's like, no, I don't like it. I'm running home now. Her little tail tucks between her legs. Like, no one hit you. She was afraid the other day because I walked by someone with a metal detector. She's like, what is that?
Oh my god, she got freaked out. She saw someone doing like tightrope walking. She was like,
It was so
she
angry.
freaked out. She was like, that is not normal. They're not touching the ground.
Yeah, she gets so upset about things.
Weren't you scared of balloons?
When she's scared, she like puffs up and she's like, "Oh, I'll fight you."
Oh my!
Oh, right, she
big
was scared
scary
of
part.
balloons. Serena was scared of boas, like feather boas. We were sitting at like what was it? A writers market, whatever. We had a booth, and we were sitting by someone who had like a boa, a feathered boa attached to their sign, and Serena lost it. She was like, that is dangerous. And I had to like slowly show her and give her treats, like, see, it won't attack you, it's fine. She's like, oh, I don't know about this. Yeah, I love it when they like walk up like all nervous and they like bark at it, like, stay back.
I'm tough.
Right.
I'm so tough.
I'm comfy, time to sleep forever. Okay.
Mood.
You're not allowed to sleep forever. You have to get up and
No.
and meet your therapist tomorrow or something. Confrontation is that job I hate but have to do, and it gives me migraines afterwards. Confrontation is when a customer shows up and punches your boss in the face.
Smashes the window.
Yeah, with their face.
That's some some confrontation right there.
Thought you were talking about a person for a second. I was like, what? Yuck, therapist. I hope your therapist is good.
Yeah.
I hope
they're
you
cool.
finally get a good one.
Please.
Some therapists suck, man.
For real.
There's also not a lot of boy therapists. They're like they're like mostly women. Threw my fidget spinner in my face. I went spinning wildly. It's not even a fidget spinner. It's like a globe. I don't know. It's got really bad paint on it that's like coming off as I spin it. Confrontation is beef on Tumblr. I am 5 seconds away from starting. Oh my god. Okay, where else? Okay, see you, Charles.
Come on, Chorl. Good luck tomorrow.
If you create an English manga, should you do panels left? Okay, if you're doing English, okay, just do it. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna say something, but it's just because I'm okay. Like I'm do it the way that English is read. Okay. There's no reason to flip it. It's weird. It's a weird thing to do, and using verticalized bubbles isn't great for your spacing. Okay.
I know, cause like I understand why you want to do it, cause you want to like,
It's okay to rate your American manga.
yeah, totally. That's like webcomics. They're all like a hybrid of like,
Most things are read vertically now, anyways. It's up
True.
to down, so
that's true.
or down to up.
Yeah.
Up, down, down. Read down ways. I'm really bad at directions. Deep breaths, Bones. It's not gonna help. Okay, like I'm like so bad with this stuff. Like, oh my god, I'm also terrible with names. Okay. Oh, you know, it was a funny thing. I didn't tell you about my therapy session. Okay, so my
Okay, you don't have to tell me.
no, there's some great things that occurred.
Okay.
Okay, so at some point my therapist's cat was just yelling. like the cat does
Amazing.
that, and my therapist is like, "Oh, it's snack time for the cat." It's and was like, "Is it okay if he sits on my lap?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I don't care." And I stared at that cat. Like I looked at that cat and I made eye contact with that cat, and I think I looked that cat in the face more than I've looked my therapist in the face over like almost a year of seeing this therapist. I stared at that cat more than I've ever looked at him in the eyes.
I love it.
And yeah, I don't know the cat's name. I have been told the cat's name multiple times, but it just like goes through me. I'm like, cat. Hello, sir. I know it's a boy cat, or at least I'm guessing. I have a 75% chance of being correct that it's a boy cat because
Is
it's
it an orange tabby?
no. Well, yeah, it's got orange. It's like an orange capped kitty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's large. He's got like a really like strong jaw. And like these eyes, like I don't know, he looks ancient, but he has like the angel meow too.
Aw, baby.
Yeah. And he throws stuff around in the background. Yeah. I love this cat. It's
Like the best part about like having to do Zoom calls for everything is like you get to see everyone's animals.
It's awkward because I went to school with my therapist's kid. Oh, that feels like a conflict of interest.
What does?
I am like Snow White. I arrive and befriend the animals of the neighborhood. Yes.
Yes.
Well, the therapist always gets me to pick up my animals, so yeah. And I talk about cats a lot. Like I'm always like, I am actually a cat. I think I'm a cat and not a human. It makes more sense. I am a cat with human responsibilities.
See,
Like that's me.
Madoka was like a hellhound who was like,
Oh my god, are we going into this now?
yeah,
Okay.
she was given up by her hellhound parents because she was too sweet, and I think you were given up by your cat parents because you were too sweet.
No, I think I was too annoying.
Too annoying.
I didn't want to do cat things. I wanted
Yeah.
to like study cats. They're like, you're too smart to be a cat.
Get out.
Yeah. Male cats usually look like Chad's Lamau. It's true. That's why I'm assuming this is a male cat.
Oh my
Also, I
God.
think he said he. I don't know. I was too busy looking the cat in the eyes.
I love how you're just having this like soul connection with this cat.
Yeah. I will make eye contact, but only with the animal.
Amazing.
Um.
Oh, this is
Oh,
a good
okay.
session.
So okay. I was talking about being weird
Mhm.
and like how like I'm uncomfortable with that. And my therapist was trying to like explain that like I feel like he was doing like that thing where like they try and connect with you where they're like, I'm also weird with things. Like
Mhm.
I already know this. But he's like, I just love smelling things. He's like, I just like smelling my cat. No, you do. You brought this up before.
I know this.
I know this. This has come up before. I'm like, I don't judge you for smelling your cats, I guess, but like, I don't know. Smelling your cats is like one weird quality.
You just hit yourself with your fidget toy.
No, it launched into my microphone and bounced off.
It sounded like it hit you in the face.
It almost did. What was another thing he said when he was weird? He was like listing things because like I wasn't really talking because I was like disassociating, and he was like bringing up like I think he was just trying to connect. He was like, you know, like a lot of people feel weird. I'm like, I'm weird, and you're like, oh no, he's just keeps talking, and I wish he'd stop. I think he said that at some point because he kept going.
Oh.
But he was like, what was some weird things? Oh, he's like, I get really into like, a new artist for like songs, and I just have to listen to all of their music, and then I show it to someone, and they're not interested, and I'm like, oh,
Oh, mood.
it's like, oh, that's cool. um, Oh my god, I don't remember. I remember the smelling things because like that.
It stuck with you.
Yeah, he's like, I just can smell everything. He's like, and I'm anxious and don't want to look at people. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool, dude. My friend, my pal, my therapist. Oh my god. What was the other thing that came up?
Every time you say weird, I think of that Riverdale clip. Yes.
Yeah, yes, that's me. Why do I...
Thanks for watching, Blueberry.
Yeah.
Glad the videos have been
I'm
helping.
trying to remember, like, what the other topic was that made me laugh. Ugh. Oh, because then he was like asking like, because I went on to say like, there's like weird things about me that like I don't care about, and like I'm not like self-conscious about because I think they're cool. Like I think there's like certain weird things that make you cool. Like I collect skulls. Like you bring that up at a party, it's cool. It's socially weird, but like acceptable. Oh, I also think like I feel like I need to do a reverse Queer Eye episode on myself where I like stop, where I just get more gaudy and outrageous.
See, that's what I feel like I need to do with myself.
Yeah, where you're just like
I need to embrace being weird.
throw away the Pinterest board
Yeah.
and just be yourself
Get,
more.
get kitschy and weird.
Yeah. Wait, what was I saying? I got off the rails. Oh, I was saying things that I like, and I talked about art, and he was like, do you hang up any of your art? And I was like, no. Why would I do that? He asked to see my art, and I was like, no. Well, he was like, I probably know the answer, but would I be able to? And I'm like, nope. He was like, I figured. And it's good that you said no instead of just meekly doing it or whatever.
That is
Yeah. It's just, I don't care. It's hard to explain where it's just like I don't care about my art, like, and that's kind of the point. Like I don't want to hang it up or do anything. Like I want to low pressure. I want to keep art as low pressure as possible.
Hmm.
And it's hard to explain because they were like, I was like, oh no, my parents were artists, and he's like, oh, did they want you to be an artist? I was like, no.
Oh God.
Anything but. Anyways,
Oh my God. Oh God.
I go too hard.
I think it's just because I'm really shy. But I whenever I mention like I do comics when I'm at my day job, they're always like, "Oh, can I see?" And I'm always like, "No," because like I just feel like such a jerk whenever I'm showing off my artwork, like outside of like.
Well, also you're like, oh God, do I show them that I'm a furry or a freak?
Because I'm a horror comic or a furry comic.
You're like, I'm not like you. I'm a furry.
I'm weird.
It's good to keep something as only a hobby. Oh my God, I have so many hobbies though. Sometimes I'll be like, writing is a hobby.
Listen.
I'm a show off, but I'm shy. I live in constant conflict.
Oh.
Oh, and he was talking about like, I was talking about, oh, he complimented my emails. He was like, they're really well written, and like you have like such an interesting way of like talking or whatever, and there's funny bits and whatever. And like, if he said this as a way to push me because he knows like at this point that I hate compliments. and like it's something like that, like it's really hard for me. And he was like, was that difficult? And I'm like, no. Because like I'm just uber, like I'm like, yeah, I'm a good writer. Like writing is one of those things where it's just like, yeah, I'm good at it. Like Like, I don't feel weird. Yeah, of course I am. It's not like complimenting other things about me.
What don't you like to be complimented on?
Um,
You don't have to say if you're like,
I'm trying to think of like something where I was just like really uncomfortable being like, you know what? One, I don't know how to like deal with.
what?
This is like a cliche, but like I hate being called brave.
You're so brave.
I am like constantly called brave, and like I don't know. I feel like I should accept this compliment, but I'm just like, it's so weird. It's such a weird comment.
There's something about it because I've gotten stuff like that too.
I guess I feel patronized, but like I think that's part of my problem is I constantly feel patronized for no reason. Like, and like that. I think that's some of the reason. Like you'll run into that with me where you're like, oh, thanks for doing this. And I'm like, no, don't thank me. I was just gonna do it anyways. Now you've made it weird. Oxnard was called brave all the time, Bones. Yeah, well, Oxnard is brave. He's a brave little hedgehog.
Bones, you're a brave little hedgehog.
Thank you. I don't know. It's just like this thing where you're just like, oh man, you're trans and you exist. That's so brave of you. And you're like, I know it is, but like you don't know it is. I guess I always feel that. I'm like, you don't understand just how much like your compliment is both too much and not enough. Like,
Yes.
does that make sense? Do you ever feel that?
I feel that whenever I get the talk of like, oh, you're so brave. You're living your true your true life as your true self.
And you're
I'm
like, first off, Buster, I am not. I am constantly hiding everything about myself.
exactly. You don't
I am
know
just
me.
putting up this trans flag as a marketing ploy to get other trans people to buy my things. If I couldn't make money off of this, I wouldn't tell anyone I'm trans.
Oh my god.
The truth comes out.
The truth comes out.
I feel like it did help me a bit. Although just finding a community, but money too. There's
Also,
some
like,
monetary
community or
incentive to being out. Because people want things from trans people.
Wheel 'em out.
Anyways.
Once do you feel uncomfortable when I tell you how great your butt is? Because you have the
Oh
best
my god,
butt
it's so...
ever.
I don't believe you.
You've got such a good butt.
I hate my body.
Your butt is amazing.
Oh, I have body issues. It's like my
Same.
butt is not good and it fits in no pants
Your-
whatsoever.
It's such a good looking butt.
But it just doesn't fit in any pants.
But it's cute. It makes all your pants look great though.
If I couldn't make money. Me too, Bones. I hate being perceived as cis though. Like honestly, if we're being real, oh my god, when people think I'm a cis person, oh, the worst. Because they'll be going off about some trans stuff, being like, yeah, I have trans friends. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. and like you have to like at some point like mention like you know I'm trans, right? Because you're just like, oh my god, because you'll be talking about something and they'll be like, we should get a trans person's perspective on this, and you're like, really?
Should we?
Really? Oh my god. Oh my god. And cis people, it must be so okay. Another thing that like is difficult for me is I am really bad at socializing. I don't think I'm good at it. I think I've struggled and I've constantly had to like make new friends all the time because I moved a lot. But then I freaking transition and now it's like I didn't even have the manual on how to be a girl. Like I took extensive notes and also just like didn't like just was like, I don't want to do this. But then like now I have to be a man and I don't know anything about this. I just know that like it's super restrictive and it's scary. And everyone expects me to know everything. Like the plumber shows up and is asking me questions. I'm like, you've been talking to Ursula this whole time. Just because I woke up, I haven't had my coffee. I don't want to talk to you. Stop looking at
I
me.
was so pissed off.
Oh
I'd
my
done all the
God.
research on the boiler and I'd been talking to all the experts, and as soon as Bones walks in, the plumber talks over my head.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, I know. Also, one thing that happened when you like transitioned was suddenly people expect you to carry things for me.
Oh my god. Everyone wants me to carry things for you
Every single
constantly.
person.
I'm a limp-wristed. I'm limp-wristed.
Do you
Like,
not-
I'm genuinely, like, my wrists go limp and they
You're
drop
not-
the thing.
Do you not understand how gay my husband is? He cannot carry these heavy things for me.
I mean, she can pick up her own goddamn trash. I don't like people paying attention to me existing. I like to do things when people aren't in the room.
How do you convert your comic from the page format to webtoon format?
You don't. She has a whole video on
I
it.
do. I have a video on that.
Yeah.
I'll-
Someone find it.
I can find it.
It's Thursday night, so we're silly. Saturday, we'll talk. Okay, we'll answer all your comment
I like
questions.
how we called this "Let's Talk About Comics."
We
sure
always
did.
do. That's just my thumbnail now. If more people had asked, and I
True.
wasn't like going off,
Listen, go off, King.
I don't understand how gay my husband is. You don't.
You don't understand how gay my husband is.
I'm incredibly gay without any of the weird sex stuff. I say it's weird, not because okay, that sounds homophobic, but I think all sex stuff is weird. Like that's what I meant. I meant that in a very asexual, looking at aloes kind of way, not a straight. I am a gay.
There's the video.
Straight sex is weird. They can make humans by doing it. Like what? How? Wait, lol. Wait, what? Oh my god, it's Rowan, the firefighter.
Roman.
Squirrels can't die from falling off of high places. Want to try me? It's interesting if true.
There, that should be the YouTube, I think. I'm hoping. Oops.
There's a prince. Oh, there you go. There we go. How does it feel to be working on Volume 4? Whoa, what was that?
Oh, sorry. The video opened.
How is Volume 4? Does it slap?
It slaps.
Did you know that most bees are solitary and not...
That messes with me.
Yeah, most species of bees are single ladies.
All single ladies. All single ladies.
Buzz buzz.
What's buzzed? I'm so hyped for Meg by Volume 4. Oh, thank you. Thanks for being the hype.
Yeah, you have to be a mod to show links.
You do.
Because otherwise people link to their bots, you know? Like bots
There's-
show up and
yeah.
link to their
There's
weird
any
ass
website.
accounts and things, yeah.
So,
I'm hyped for my Pretty Milk comic? What?
can someone please call me a pretty mouse?
Oh, you are a Pretty Milk.
You are.
I hate
Um,
webtoon format. It's easy to read, but it looks ugly to me.
I love this I love this opinion.
What?
Victor. I just love Victor's like spiciness. The spicy hot take.
I think my friend did like a whole essay on how webtoons is ruining things.
Oh heck.
I think Eve did it. It was about how like, because you know like people used to have like individual webcomic sites for themselves,
Yes.
and and they would design the entire website and it become part of the experience, and that is lost through the social mediaizing of webcomics.
That is very true.
Porn bots are annoying. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They always. They must work on some people, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't do them. Well, they wouldn't do them if they weren't successful. Like. Oh. I can't believe anything.
Nothing?
The world seems fake. Do you realize?
World seems fake. Oh my goodness.
Do a cool layout. Ooh woo. Perfect. Perfect idea. Good plan. Are you guys excited for volume 3 too? Like it's gonna come out too.
Almost done.
Ursula's probably gonna be working on volume 4 during streams, I bet.
Yeah.
Because she's gotta work on Avo on hand paper.
Yes.
Hand paper.
And paper. Well, I have to do character design stuff.
Oh god, yeah, there's so much work. Is Avo even coming out?
I'm scared.
Now it's all in Ursula's
It's all in
dump
my
truck.
cool.
Nice snort.
Thank you.
I don't know what I should do with my webcomic once I start it up. Start posting online. How's Avo going on? It should be our next thing. I want Gatsby Dragons, please. Right? It's all on Ursula's shoulders. She has to do the illustrations.
I have to sit down. I gotta finish up character designs, do illustrations.
Yeah.
The illustrations too. I'm doing all the sketches digitally, so I could stream those technically.
Yeah, but not
But
all of
then-
them.
Not all of them, because they'd be spoilers, and I have to ink them traditionally and watercolor them. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
and she's scared.
I'm so scared. Ursula did the exact layout I was talking about. Shut up.
I short-circuited for a sec hearing you say my name. It feels so fake hearing it from family, and yours sounded so sincere. Aw.
Aw.
Well, that's cool, Victor.
Aw. Bless.
It was really beautiful to see you ink the illustrations this winter.
Aw.
It's just hard to set up a camera to do it.
It is.
That's the main issue.
Yeah.
Like, if we got lighting, which is probably really cheap.
Oh, yeah, we should probably invest in lighting. We do enough streaming and video work that we probably need some.
I mean, Chorls has a ring light. Like,
True. And do we want chorals?
all right, we did it. This is
We
the
did
stream. We did it.
We had a whole stream.
We had a whole stream.
We did it.
Come back on Saturday, where we will do things
We'll do-
together.
Do more. We'll chit chat more. We'll actually talk about comics.
Hopefully. I don't know. Or I'll go off on a tear about something. I'll probably be talking about the 9-point RPG,
Oh, true.
because that's tomorrow, and I'm scared.
Should we tell the stream that you developed a 9-point RPG?
I did,
You did?
a while ago.
Good.
Oh.
Man, well, thanks for
Oh
hanging out with
man,
us.
Nightbot.
Nightbot.
Oh,
Oh.
I didn't even know it could do that.
Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for being our.
Nightbot, Fightbot.
Watch out for Nightbot; they'll get you.
I don't even know. That seems so uncalled for.
Hmm.
Umbrella just said woo.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Umbrella. I'll talk to Nightbot about that.
What was a little heart to heart with Nightbot? They don't bully our viewers.
Nightbot said I was spamming for saying no. Oh no. Nightbot doesn't like when you use too many O's.
Too many O's.
Oh no! Nightbot got you!
Watch out.
Okay. All right.
Oh god, we better run
we
before
bet-
Nightbot rises
Okay,
up.
let's all leave before Nightbot gets us. Alright.
Oh my goodness.
Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye everyone. See you later.